Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fraser Field for this interleague battle between the two big Catholic schools in the area. St. John's Prep, Division I, St. Mary's Spartans, Division II. This has become an annual event. Danny Letard, a very good friend of mine, I've known Danny for a long time, does a tremendous job coaching St. John's Prep. And obviously Derek Dana, a very good friend. I've known him for a long time as well. I did his games when he played. Him and Timmy Fowler, his assistant. And two outstanding coaches, two very competitive teams, winning teams. St. Mary's 10-8, St. John's Prep 9-7. They both play in very good leagues. Eric Bridges will be on the mound for St. Mary's. He's throwing to John Nowicki, his catcher. We're winding down. This is the start of the last week. This is Monday night, and the regular season ends the end of this week. This coming Friday and Saturday will be the Mullins tournament. The young former athlete at Classical, very good coach at St. Mary's. At English, was an assistant with Campanegro, and then he became
leading off for St. John's, center fielder, Tucker Lawson.
And the problem we're having now is that every St. John's Prep is wearing Frady's numbers 3. So if they make any substitutions, we'll have no idea what they're doing. This is Tucker Lawson, the center fielder. So we're just going to go with the starting lineup because we won't know if they make a substitution. They do this quite often, honoring Peter Frady's. Line shot. Zach Fisher just said, I'll wave at that and hope it goes in my glove. He trapped it and throws Lawson out. Hit it right on the nose, and he gets thrown up by the second baseman. One pitch, one out. Aiden Driscoll, the catcher, will be the hitter. So just noticing now that they usually wear the Peter Frady's uniforms at St. John's Prep when they have the game honoring Peter Frady's. I don't know if they're wearing them all year, but they're wearing them here tonight. Hit again, big hop this time to Fisher, a little easier play. He likes those big hops. So Fisher makes 2 quick plays, 2 quick outs. And Kyle Webster, the first baseman, will be the hitter. In for a strike. Eric Bridges was a big part of St. Mary's championship last year. They've won back-to-back. They won one, and when they came back last year, they won it again. Hit out of play after COVID. And Eric was a big part. He was a freshman last year. He's come on. He's improving by leaps and bounds. Up and away for a ball. Try to get Webster to chase the off waste pitch. Hit right to the shortstop. So 3 quick outs. So Bridges retires the first 3.
The bathrooms are located behind the visitors' dugout to the back.
So 3 quick outs. A couple of them hit shot, hit it solid. 2 of them hit right to the second baseman. 1 hit right to the shortstop. 3 quick outs. And St. Mary's has an opportunity to get on the board first. Zach Fisher, the second baseman, leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Jack Marks. The shortstop, Avon Cabral, will hit third. Batting cleanup and playing third, Tommy Falaska. The catcher, John Nowicki, will hit fifth. Playing center field and batting sixth, Tad Giardina. The DH, Cam McGonigal. Hitting for the pitcher, Bridges, will hit number 7. The left fielder, Jason Donahue, will hit number 8. And Ryan Freya, the first baseman, will hit number 9. We mentioned Derek Dana and his longtime assistant, Timmy Fowler, winning back-to-back state championships. As coaches, they did it as players, too.
Leading off for St. Mary's in the bottom of the first, second baseman number 2, Zach Fisher.
Derek Dana was the catcher. Timmy Fowler was an outstanding pitcher. Zach Fisher, the second baseman, leads it off for the Spartans. We're getting close to state tournament time. In for a strike. Joe Williams is on the mound. He's throwing to Aiden Driscoll behind the plate. Up and away for a ball. St. John's Prep, always one of the premier teams. Normally they're in the Super 8, but Super 8 has been done away with. They had Super 8 in hockey and baseball, and they did away with them. So they're just in the Division I state tournament. Hit foul back out of play. The count evens at 2. A lot of coaches and teams were upset about that because they wanted, most of the Super 8 were Catholic Division I teams. They wanted them to have their own tournament. Just a little bit high. So we got our first full count. Action again going on over at Manning Field with lacrosse. High and tight for a ball. Good at bat by Fisher. It'll bring up Jack Marks, the right fielder. And if the script holds, like it did the last game, Marks will be bunting to move the runner along. They did it. They did it twice. And both times it worked. Both times they got base hits, knocking in runs. Fundamental baseball. Nice, the bunt and fouls it off. Third baseman Burcham flying in from third. Now he shortens up a little bit. Jack Marks, good two-sport athlete, football and baseball. Bunts it foul again. 0-2. Marks the hitter with Avon Cabral on deck. Down and away. Nice stop by the catcher Driscoll. Keeps Fisher at first base. Down and in again, another nice stop by Driscoll. So he had him 2 strikes, now the count is even, 2-2. Hit foul out of play, off to the left side. Solid shot. Nice play by the shortstop. That was a great play. He was shading second base for a left-handed hitter. The shortstop, Lagrasso.
Shortstop number 15, Avon Cabral.
Lagrasso went deep, almost to the outfield grass, spun around, and made the play at second base. That's an outstanding defensive play by the shortstop. They almost turned a double play. Marks on the next step, being a left-handed hitter. And he beat it by about a step, maybe step and a half. But that's a tremendous play. Marks had a base hit easy. And Lagrasso took it away. Down and away. It was all for naught. Mrs. Freer came up and said, "What's the number of Lagrasso off the roster?" I said, "Number 42. She said, "Good, I can look for number 42, except everybody's wearing 3. Solid shot, pulled it foul past third base. Marks takes off, down and in. In with a stolen base. So Ramirez has the first player in scoring position with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Count 3-1 to Avon Cabral. In for a strike, the count goes full. Cabral thought about it, held up, it was on the corner. A little bit of a crowd here tonight. Prep brought a few. St. Mary's always brings a few. A couple more people coming in on a Monday night here at Frazier Field. High and tight, curveball broke late.
Back to the third baseman, number 8, Tommy Velasca.
Tommy Velasca, the third baseman, will hit with runners at first and second. Second walk given up in the inning. Got his money's worth and swung right through it for strike 1. In for strike 2. Quickly 0-2. Solid shot. Got out in front and pulled it foul. Deep to left field. Velasca got all of that one, but he got out in front and pulled it foul. So we'll do it again at 0-2. Almost looked like Marks was going to steal third base. Popped up. That's going to drop. That's a base hit. They hold Marks at third. Had to wait momentarily, see if it would be caught. But it dropped in for the first hit.
Number 24, John Nowicki.
So the 2 walks followed by that little Texas Leaguer, and I'm dating myself, Texas Leaguer, into right center field. Loads the bases up with 1 out. John Nowicki will be the hitter. Mark's got a great jump. I thought he was going to score easily. Pitching from the stretch with the bases loaded. In for a strike on the corner. So St. Mary's with the first threat. 3 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Could see that little punch by Velasquez just sinking over the second baseman's head in front of the center fielder. 2 quick strikes. Nowicki would love a base hit, but he wants to put the ball in play. The Prep are back deep at second and short, looking for a potential double play. Shortened up at first and third. Low for a ball, nice stop by Driscoll, the catcher. Hit to short off the shortstop. They don't get anybody. That looked like a potential double play to end the inning. Shortstop made a great play earlier, and now that looked like automatic double play. Instead, it's an error and a run. And they wind up getting nobody. They didn't even get the force at second. So the base is still loaded with 1 out. Yeah, Giardina, he's got some big hits for St. Mary's this year. He'd love to get another one here.
Justin Jennings, pinch running.
So a solid shot by Nowicki right at the shortstop. Looked like it was going to be a perfect double play. Hit, that's going to drop. Two bloops, still take them both. The base is still loaded with 1 out, and that brings the trip out to the mound. You don't have to crush it, you just have to find a spot. And St. Mary's has found 2 spots. The little drop by Velasquez, and now the little poke by Giardina. Cam McGonigal DHing for the pitcher. Bridges will be the 7th hitter in the inning. Still only 1 out, 2 runs in. Bases loaded for the Spartans.
Batting for St. Mary's, number 9, the designated hitter, Cam McGonigal.
So they're still back at double play depth. Shortened up at first and third. McGonigal hitting from the left side. St. Mary's has put 2 on the board. Low for a ball. So he was ahead of Velasquez. Velasquez got a hit. He was ahead of Nowicki. Nowicki reached on the error. Giardina hit the first pitch for a base hit. Missing inside, 2-0. in for a strike. The problem tonight will be, and I hope I'm not jinxing the prep, but if they change pitches, we won't know who he is because everybody's wearing number 3. In for a strike. Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jason Donahue is the on-deck hitter. Missed inside. They wanted that one. The count goes full. So a big pitch coming up for both teams. Hitting in the air deep to right field, going back. The right fielder will make the play. Everybody's going to tag up and move a base.
Oh, you gotta hustle, kid.
They threw him out at second base. The run will score. I don't know how he didn't get there.
And hit him one complete, St. Mary's 3.
So if Alaska scores the 3rd run, the runner moved up to 3rd. Giardina looked like he was easily going to go to second base. He got thrown out. And that ends the inning. St. Mary's sends 7 to the plate. 3 of them score. And Bridges will start his 2nd inning of work. And starting this inning, he'll have a 3-run cushion to work with as St. Mary's jumps out in front 3-0 over the prep at the end of 1. Nick Salitro, excuse me. He's a designated hitter hitting for the pitcher. He'll lead it off. For the prep, we'll find themselves trailing 3-0. Down the way for a ball. A win in this game for St. Mary's would bode very well for them in the standings for the upcoming tournament. Two 2-0. This should be a big win against a Division I team. But we got a lot of baseball left to play. Hit in a right field for a base hit. So Bridges had retired the first 3. Gives up his first hit.
The right fielder, Shane Williams.
Shane Williams, I don't know if he's related to the pitcher, Joe Williams. He's the right fielder, and he'll be the hitter. Down and away for a ball. Down and in for a ball. Solid shot into right field for a base hit. Runner had to wait or he would have got hit going to second base. So he only gets to second, but back-to-back hits. And it's just like that. The prep has the tying run at home plate.
Second baseman, Peyton Palladino.
Peyton Palladino, the second baseman, will be the hitter. I don't know if they'll play small ball. Velasquez shortened up at third. Down and away for a ball. And we got a little conference on the mound, just broken up. Everybody getting involved. In for a strike. Down and away for a ball. Hit foul off to the left side, out of play. Ricocheted back onto the field. Falaska has to track it down. So the count is even at 2. That's going to be a base hit into the right center field. In the gap. In with a double. Just like that. Prep coming right back. Palladino with a double. Gets the RBI. And the Prep has the tying runs in scoring position for Caleb Burcham, the third baseman. How quickly the tide can turn. In for a strike.
Third baseman, Caleb Burcham.
St. Mary's has brought a nice little crowd here tonight. Prep has brought a few. Nice to see on a nice night here at the ballpark. Hit in here to left center field. Another base hit. So Prep teeing off here. Still nobody out. They got 2 of the 3 back, and they got the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at first. For Victor Harrington, the left fielder. Derek Daner out to talk to his young sophomore pitcher. So St. Mary's had all the momentum in the world. There were 3 unearned runs due to the error at shortstop. Would have been absolutely a double play to end the inning. And there was a fly after that they wouldn't have scored. But they got the 3 and they had the momentum. And here comes the Prep. Just whacking away. 4 straight hits. One of them a double by Palladino for an RBI. And
Batting left fielder, Victor Harrington.
Ed Burcham gets a hit for an RBI. And just like that, it's 3-2. First and third, nobody out in the second inning. The runner takes off. I'm not sure what they were doing. They had an almost perfect double play. Line shot to the second baseman, big hop. They could have turned 2 easily. Instead, they tried to throw the ball home. Nowicki had to go high in the air, and that was going to go over his head. That would have been even worse.
Shortstop, Cam Nebraska.
So the fielder's choice RBI ties the game up. 2-1, nobody out. Hit. They get the one at second. Nice play by Frere at first base. Over to Cabral.
Batting the leadoff hitter, Tucker Lawson, center fielder.
Well, Prep has the go-ahead run at third. As they've tied it up. And that could have been the last out of the inning. They could have turned the double play. That was a one-hop line shot to the second baseman. But he opted to go home and almost threw it away. Nowicki saved her, or it would have been worse. Top of the order, Tucker Larson grounded out second and first. And that was a shot. The runner trying to score is thrown out. Nice shot by Velasquez. Good tag by Nowicki.
The catcher, Aiden Driscoll.
So they knocked the runner down at the plate. First and second with 2 outs now. Aiden Driscoll bounced to second base. Solid shot to left field. Bobbled out there. Gets away. Right through the wickets. The error is going to let 2 runs score. All the way to third. Driscoll gets a base hit. He doesn't get an RBI. They held everybody up.
The first baseman, Kyle Webster.
Hit out of play, foul. Backing up, now coming on. Giordina makes the play.
At the end of 1.5, St. John's 5.
So St. Mary's took that momentum away. They send 9 to the plate. 5 of them score. Five base hits. And the big error in the outfield. And it cost them dearly. Larson scored all the way from first base when the ball went through the wickets in left field. He had to chase it down. So it looked like they might get out of the inning with the runner thrown out the plate for the second out. But then the base hit, and they held everybody up. They weren't scoring. But then they said, no, go ahead, because it went through all the way almost to the warning track. Out in left field, 2 runs scored easily. The hitter wound up at third, Driscoll. So he got a base hit, went to third on the error.
Leading off the St. Mary's in the bottom of the second. The left fielder, number 4, Jason Donahue.
8-9-1 for St. Mary's, so that momentum taken away very quickly. I guess I jinxed it when I said it would be a big win against the Division I team. I did mention there was a lot of baseball still left to play. Jason Donahue. Ryan Freer back to the top of the order. Zach Fisher for St. Mary's. As Joe Williams has now been staked to a lead. He was behind 3-0 at the end of 1. Now starting the second, he's got a 2-run lead. Swing and a miss. chop foul. One, two, the count to the spot in the left fielder. Missing down and in, evens the count at 2. Now the same thing applies. St. Mary's down 2, but they got a lot of baseball left. Hit in the air. Long run for the first baseman. Just has room and makes a nice play. Kyle Webster with a nice play, went way over, almost to the fence behind first base and made the nice play.
First baseman number 7, Ryan Freer.
Ryan Freer, good 3-sport athlete. Baseball, obviously, soccer, part of the boys' championship baseball team this year. Swings to the pitch for strike 1. Curveball hung inside. Down away for a ball. Down away again. 3-1 the count. He'll be fussy here. They need base runners. He dropped the bat, started to go to first base. Umpire said, go get it, come back, because it's strike 2. Now he can't be as fussy. The payoff pitch. Hit off the third baseman, stays with it. Nice stretch at first by Webster. They throw Freer out. 2 up, 2 down for the top of the order, Zach Fisher, the second baseman. He walked his first time up. Low for a ball. Good curveball. He backed away and it dropped in for a strike. Umpire signaling to the prep players to get into the on the bench, not out in the field. Low for a ball. The sun has come out extremely bright to our left, and you almost can't see the field because if you tilt your head to the left, you get blinded. High for a ball. So he fell behind Freer, came back. He falls behind Fisher. Hit the third again. Another nice play. Bertram made 2 nice plays. A 1-2-3 inning for Williams. And the prep, we finished 2 here at Frazier Field in this interleague Catholic battle. St. John's Prep 5, St. Mary's 3. Nick Salitro led off the second inning. He'll lead off here in the third as they battle around.
The designated hitter, Nick Salitro.
In for a strike. as Giardina drifts over into right center field and makes the play.
Well batted the right fielder, Shane Williams.
Shane Williams singled and scored in that big 5-run second inning. He was one of 4 straight base hits starting the inning. And then a big error helped him for the last 2. On the corner for a strike. Fishing for a ball. Hit foul to the backstop. And evens it up at 2-2. Waves at the pitch for strike 3.
The right fielder, Shane Williams.
So Williams strikes out. Peyton Palladino, the second baseman, will be the hitter.
Is he? Oh.
He doubled the last time. Freer did a great job. That was thrown away. He went up high and got it and kept his foot on the base. So 1-2-3 inning for Bridges.
At the end, 2.5. St. John's 5, St. Mary's 3.
So it's still 5-3 the prep. St. Mary's will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Jack Marks, Avon Cabral, Tommy Falasco will be the 3 hitters. To face Joe Williams, he'll be starting his 3rd inning of work. Can't wait for that sun to set. You're distracted even if you're not looking there because you have, just out of the corner of your eye, you have to catch sight of it. The lights haven't really come into fruition yet because it's still bright. So it appears to be a little bit dark down in the field. Mention again, the Dougie Mullins tournament will be coming up this being Monday.
The bottom of the 3rd, the right fielder, number 5, Jack Marks.
The Dougie Mullins tournament will be coming up this Friday evening, starting at 4 and 7. English Classical, St. Mary's and Swampscott taking part. It'll finish up on Saturday, and then Saturday at 4 and 6. The Holland tournament will start going into Sunday at 11 and 2, and that ends the regular season. So we breezed along, getting all the games in, everybody playing a full schedule in some of the worst weather we've ever seen in our lives for a baseball season. In for a strike to Jack Marks, who reached center fielder's choice and scored the first run for St. Mary's. Way up and away for a ball. High for a ball. High again. So he Walks Marks. He's on for the second time. Avon Cabral walked and scored a run.
Number 15, Avon Cabral.
Williams gave up 2 walks in the first inning. Both of them scored. The other one scored on a sacrifice fly by McGonigal. All 3 were unearned after the error, as Cabral takes it high and tight for a ball. Hit way up in the air. Pitcher making a call, everybody surrounding him. Williams goes Dale. It's had a little few gray hairs making that one-handed catch. That was hit a ton up in the air.
The third baseman, number 8, Tommy Velasca.
That almost brought rain. Tommy Velasca dumped a little single right over the second baseman's head in front of the center fielder. He scored the 3rd run in that first inning. So he's 1 for 1 with a run scored. Checked his swing, but hit the bat. Goes over to the prep dugout for strike 1. On the corner for a strike. Good pitch. Quickly 0-2. Solid shot at the left field for a base hit. So Samirs gets the tying run on here. But John Nowicki, the catcher. He had a shot that looked like
Number 24,
it was going to be a perfect double play ball to the shortstop. It was right. He was only a couple of steps away from second base with the bases loaded. It wound up handcuffing the shortstop. An error. Everybody reached. Line shot into center field. They send the runner. Nowicki jumped on the first pitch. He's on for the second time. St. Mary's closes the gap as Mark scores.
Center field, number 3, Tad Giardina.
I think it's Kyle Rush running at first base for Nowicki. So 1 out, 2 on a run in. St. Mary's has cut the lead to 1. Wide for a ball. Tad Giardina dumped the base hit into short center field. Check swing, popped up over the shoulder. First baseman Webster sliding 2 or 3 steps out in the outfield grass. That's a nice defensive play. Just a little excuse me swing by Giardina. Just a little touch, a little flare. He made the over the shoulder catch. Nice play. 2 outs. McGonigal hit a fly to deep right. It brought in a run with the runner tagging up from third, but also ended the inning because the runner got thrown out trying to go from first to second tagging up and got thrown out. In for a strike. Quickly 0-2. Wide for a ball. Again, action at Manning Field looks like lacrosse. Williams was ready, then he stepped off. Arnold stepped out. Now everybody back, and we're back to baseball. Chase, the pitcher, was down and in, gets tagged out by the catcher. So St. Mary's gets a big RBI single by Nowicki. They close the gap. The run makes it 5-4. We finished 3. So 5-4, the Prep over St. Mary's at the end of 3. Leading off for the Prep in the top of the 4th is the third baseman, Caleb Burcham.
Leading off for the Prep, the third baseman, Caleb Burcham.
Curveball drops in for a strike. I don't know if Palaska might think he's bunting. He's shot him way up at third base. He wasn't bunting. A solid shot to left field for a base hit. He got a base hit his first time and knocked in a run. So he's 2 for 2 with an RBI. And Victor Harrington, the left field, will be the hitter. He reached in the fielder's choice. He hit the ball at second base that looked like it was going to be a perfect double play ball. And they threw the ball home trying to get the runner at the plate. They threw it high. The run scores. Harrington gets an RBI. Reaching on the fielder's choice. On the corner for a strike. Try to check his swing, and he couldn't. And it's 1-2. Good pitch for strike 3. Gets him looking.
The shortstop, Cam LaGrassa.
Second strikeout. There have been a lot of strikeouts. They were getting the bat and the ball. Base hit into right field. Turned the corner like he was going to go to third, but held up at second base. That was Burcham.
Center fielder, Tucker Larson.
LaGrassa gets the base hit. He's on for the second time. He reached on the fielder's choice and scored a run in the second. Now he's at first with 2 on and 1 out. For Tucker Larson, the center fielder, who was grounded out and bounced into a fielder's choice and scored a run. His was a play grounded to third. They threw the run out at the plate. But then Larson came around to score on the base hit by Driscoll that was booted in the outfield, and 2 runs scored on the play, and that's really the difference in the game right now in the 4th inning. Fishing for a ball. So Bridges is going to come all the way back, or he's going to load the bases. He walks him on 4 pitches. He's on for the second time, and the bases are loaded.
The catcher, Aiden Driscoll.
Aiden Driscoll bounced to second, and his was the single that went to left field. They held everybody up initially, and then the ball went through the wickets, and they sent everybody, and 2 runs scored. He didn't get an RBI because they held everybody up, but they wound up scoring 2 runs on the play. Hit the second. They get 1. They get the double play. Big play in the middle by Cabral with that rocket arm. So a great turn in the middle by Cabral. And he had to have that rocket arm. They just got Driscoll at first base. And they're coming out to question the plate umpire. So they got 2 hits and a walk. They have the bases loaded. St. Mary's turns the double play. Cabral has got that arm. He just fires away. They get the 3rd out. They turn the double play. A big play for St. Mary's. And it keeps it a 1-run game going into the bottom of the 4th. And St. Mary's will have 8, 9, and 1 to face Joe Williams. At least that sun has gone down now behind the trees over at Pine Grove Cemetery. I got a very big shout out to, we had a tremendous event last night at Classical Auditorium. There were 161 young men and women, athletes from all 4 schools. Every sport offered at the school was awarded a medal. A couple of kids from each school, maybe more. St. Mary's had a few more winning state championships. But everybody had at least 2 from every sport. Medals and T-shirts were given out. The medal and T-shirts were donated by Harrington Trophy, who does a tremendous job in the city, working with the youth and the high schools and Little League and Babe Ruth and everybody imaginable. They do a tremendous job, Kevin Harrington and Marty Harrington, and we wish a speedy recovery for Kevin to get well. He's having some health issues. And I want a big shout out to Athens on Boston Street. They were tremendous. They brought sandwiches and salad and drinks and snacks for everybody. And it was absolutely amazing what they did last night. They got behind us and they sponsored us. And I want to thank Pat Tutwiler, the superintendent, for being there and honoring the students by presenting the medals. And Mayor Nicholson came for opening remarks. And it was a great night. There isn't a cable company in America that did what LETV did last night, 161 awards. But I want to thank those people. They were absolutely tremendous. Jason Donahue popped to first base. Takes it low for a ball. We're the bottom of the 4th, 5-4. Prep. St. Mary's got their runs in the first. Prep got their 5 in the second. Prep looked like they're going to add to it with the bases loaded 1 out, but St. Mary's turned a very nice double play. Line shot off the pitcher's foot. They're not going to be able to be safe at first base. And they're going to come out and question that one, too. They questioned the double play, and they're going to question that one, too. Donahue's going to get a base hit. A line shot off the heel. The catcher, Driscoll, came all the way out in front of home plate.
First baseman, number 7, Ryan Frere.
Driscoll came all the way out in front of the plate, had a fielder looked and threw the ball, and they called the runner safe at first base. And Daniel Letard is questioning that one. He's had a little bit of beef with the base umpire the last two calls. Both have gone against the prep. Ryan Frere, let's see if he bunts. Burcham thinks so. He squeezed way in at third. They throw the ball over. Diving back is Donahue. That was a shot up the middle. Went off the heel of Williams. Thank God he's okay. He had to feel that one. They bunted foul. They worked this to perfection their last game here. Both Frere and Marks got down perfect bunts and it set up runs that helped them win the game. Helped them get an early lead. They wound up getting a big inning later on. But they've had trouble getting it down here. They throw it over again. Donahue gets back. Williams took a long time. Frere asked for time, and he got it just as Williams was getting ready to throw the ball. He gets the bunt down. Nice job by Frere. Play goes 1-3 for the sacrifice.
Second baseman number 2, Zach Fisher.
It moves the tying run over to second base for Zach Fisher, who walked and grounded to third. Wide for a ball. On the corner for a strike. Now I don't know if it's a lacrosse game over there because I look over the scoreboard, it's not working unless the game is over. Might have been a practice. On the corner again. Two good pitches by Williams. Jack Marks, the right fielder, the on-deck hitter. High for a ball. 1 out, 1 on. The tying run at second base here in the bottom of the fourth. Slices it foul past first base. We'll do it again at 2-2. High for a ball. So he had him. Now he's going to come with a pitch. He'll put him on. He lost him. So first and second for Jack Marks.
The right fielder number 5, Jack Marks.
He reached in a fielder's choice and scored, walked and scored. So he's 0 for 1, but he scored twice. Trying to keep the runner close at second. Williams didn't throw, just kind of turned like I might throw, I might not. Taking all that time, Marks finally said, I want timeout. Now the umpire calls timeout. We finally get back in sync. Swing and a miss. In for a strike. Bites the inside corner with that one. It's 0-2. Just reached it, protecting the plate and punched that one up in the seats. So we'll do it again at 0-2. Yeah, nice little crowd. A few more people came in. St. Mary's brought a nice crowd. Prep brought some people. Nice to see. Williams taking a lot of time. Hit.
The shortstop, number 15, Avon Cabral.
High in the air. Williams makes the play himself for the second out. Avon Cabral walked and scored, popped to first. Curveball drops on the inside corner for a strike. On the corner again. Quickly 0-2. Now the hit has to guess is going to be a curveball. It's going to be a fastball. We're going to go inside, outside. Cabral, he knew it. As soon as he took the pitch, he just turned around and walked to the dugout. He didn't wait for the umpire. So St. Mary's threatens. They put 2 on with 1 out. But a pop-up and a strikeout gets Williams out of the inning. We finished 4. Prep holding on to that skinny 1-run lead. Prep 5, St. Mary's 4. Kyle Webster, the first baseman, has lined to short and flied to center. He's all left-handed, throwing, hitting. He'll lead off the 5th for the Prep. In for a strike. That didn't miss by much. Evens the count at 1. in the air. That's going to go out of play. The 1-2 pitch up and coming. Up and away. Evens the count of 2. Reaches for it, taps it out to left field. Donnie was there to make the play.
Now batting the designated hitter, Nick Salitro.
Nick Salitro, the designated hitter, singled and scored, fly to center. I mentioned before the game, it looked like St. John's Prep brought the entire student body. You can't fit a piece of math paper in the dugout over there. It's a sea of white shirts in the dugout. Up and away for a ball. Inside and tight off to catch his glove. I don't know if I got a piece of the umpire. He took his mask off, took a little walk behind home plate, shook his hand a little bit. One out here in the 5th. Bases empty for the Prep, leading by a run. In for a strike. Hit in the air. Tracked down out there for the second out. Hit that a long way.
The right fielder, Shane Williams.
2 up, 2 down. Shane Williams got a base hit, scored one of the runs in the second inning. Last time up, he struck out swinging. Goes the other way. Long run for Donahue, but it's way foul and out of play. Down and in for a ball. Down and in again. Freer makes the easy play. 1-2-3 inning. Third 1-2-3 inning for Bridges. The second inning is the only really gap.
St. John's 5, St. Mary's 4.
Nothing in the inning. Going into the bottom of the 5th, it'll be 4, 5, and 6. For the Spartans, they look to get at least one to get back in it. They trail 5-4. Once again, that Dougie Mullins tournament coming up. This being Monday, it'll start Friday, 4 and 7. Carry over into Saturday. English Classical, St. Mary's and Swampscott, honoring, first year honoring Dougie Mullins, young, very good athlete at Classical High School. Was an assistant coach with Joe Caponigo at English, coached the Legion team, then took over when Joe Cap left, and left us way too soon. A terrific young man. Loved the kids, worked hard with his team, and whether it was Legion or high school, he loved to work with the kids, teach, help, and we lost him way too soon. Outstanding young man. So they're going to honor him with the tournament over the weekend. Tommy Velasco is 2 for 2.
Third baseman number 8, Tommy Velasco.
Singled in the first and scored, and singled in the third. His single in the third set up the run that got them back within a run when they were trailing 5-3. He pushed Marks over to second base, and he scored on the base hit by Nowicki. So 5-4 the Prep as we start the bottom of the fifth. Wide for ball, 1-1. He backed away from that one, picked it off his ear and hit it way down the first base side. What a play. I thought he caught it. He didn't. A great try by the first baseman, Webster. I think at the last minute he looked up to see where the fence was, and it just went beyond his reach. Just over the fence. Almost made a great play. On the inside corner for strike 3.
The catcher number 24, John Nowicki.
John Nowicki reached on an error, lined the single in the right center field for an RBI, so he's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Missing wide for a ball. Again, all the runs early. St. Mary's 3 in the first, Prep 5 in the second. St. Mary's did get a run in the third. Blowing away for a ball. And that lacrosse game is over at Manning Field. In for a strike. Low for a ball. In for a strike. The count goes full. Hit the second. Palladino over to Webster for the play. So 2 up, 2 down for St. Mary's in the fifth. Tagiadina got a base hit. Last time up, he popped up to the first baseman, who made a nice running catch out in short right field. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Tad doesn't waste too much time. If you throw it, he's going to hit it. Umpire is motioning something down. I don't know. There's fans, oh, the baseball out in the field, that's what it was. And they try to retrieve it. The fan dropped the ball back on the field. Derek Dana has to go get it again. They played Tad straight away. The center fielder right over the second base bag. Dead center field. And that hits him on the back.
No batter designated hit number 9, Cam McGonigal.
Cam McGonigal got a sacrifice fly in the first, knocking in the third run. Last time up, he struck out swinging. Will he try to get Giardina at second base? In for a strike. Jimmy Belvo had strike one up on the scoreboard. It was automatic. He visioned what the count was going to be. High for a ball. Jason Donahue on deck, looking for a shot. Chased that pitch that broke down in the turf. Had no possibility of hitting that pitch. That had a lot of bite to it. That dropped quickly. The 1-2 pitch up and coming. On the corner for strike 3. So they get a runner on with the hit batsman, but he's stranded there.
St. John's 5, St. Mary's 4.
We played 5 full in this interleague battle. Prep still holding on to that skinny 1-run lead. The Prep 5, St. Mary's 4 at the end of 5. Second baseman for the Prep, Peyton Palladino, has doubled in a run and grounded out third to first. We start the 6th inning with a Prep up a run. Hit the shot. Big hop for Cabral. He's got that rocket over to Freire, who makes that up in the air to make the stab. 1 up, 1 down in the 6th.
Third baseman, Caleb Burcham.
Caleb Burcham, perfect. He shingled twice. One of them got him an RBI. Curveball drops down and away. Hit high in the air. Marks the right fielder, makes the play. 2 away. Victor Harrington reached in a fielder's choice, getting an RBI. Was called on strikes his last time. Waved at that pitch. Slices it foul off to the right side. Warm-up action down in the prep bullpen. Oh, to the count to the prep left fielder. St. Mary's has 10 wins. Prep looking for their 10th win. Hit foul back up in the seats. Waves for strike 3. 7 in a row retired by Bridges. He picks up his 3rd strikeout. Prep is down in the 6th.
As we move into the bottom of the 6th, St. John's 5, St. Mary's 4.
Still 5-4 going into the bottom of the 6th. 8-9-1 for the Spartans. So the difference in the game was a base hit. They scored the runs to tie it, but then a base hit to left field. They held the runners up, but when the ball was misplayed, went by the left fielder all the way to the almost to the warning track, the dirt road out there. 2 runs were able to score. Those were the 4th and 5th runs, and that's the difference in the game right now, as it's 5-4. And Williams will start his 6th inning of work.
Leading off for St. Mary's in the bottom of the 6th, the left fielder, number 4, Jason Donahue.
Jason Donahue, Ryan Freer, back to the top of the order, Zach Fisher. We'll try to get it started. Donahue popped the first, and he was the one that started 2 consecutive wars. Daniel Letat, the coach of Prep, with the base umpire. First one was the double play that ended the inning. He thought the runner was safe at first. Then they come out, and Donahue hit a shot off the pitcher's foot. It bounced back to home plate. Driscoll, the catcher, picked it up and threw to first. Donahue was called safe, and he come out and argued for the second time about a call at first base. He didn't get either call. Donahue wound up being sacrificed to second, but he got stranded there. After a walk, Williams got a pop up to himself, and then a strikeout. Good pitch for a strike, 1-2. Down and away for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Missing for a ball. That's ball 4. Donahue, nice at bat. So that's going to do it for Williams. That was his fourth walk. He struck out 4, giving up only 5 hits. 4 runs, first 3 runs were unearned. So we're going to try to find out who the new pitcher is because, as we mentioned before, everybody is wearing number 3 for the prep.
There you go.
We're going to get the name of the pitcher. One of our young crew has gone down and talked to Daniel Latat. He'll come back, let us know who's pitching. So the tying runners at first base, leading off the 6th inning. Ryan Freer was the hitter, and we should be looking for a bunt here. He bunted last time Donahue got on. Freer bunted him to second. So Kyle Webster, the first baseman, is the new pitcher. So now we don't know who's playing first base.
Kyle Webster now pitching for St. John's.
We'll assume that the DH is now hitting for the first baseman. Takes the pitch low for a ball. Third baseman Burcham almost shaking hands with Ryan Freer as he comes flying in from third base. He gets the bunt down. They're going to have to hurry. They get him at first. Play goes 2-3.
Second baseman number 2, Zach Fisher.
Well, St. Mary's will have the tying run at second base with 1 out. Zach Fisher has walked, grounded out, and walked. So we were thinking we wouldn't know who the pitcher was because everybody's wearing number 3 for Pete Frates. Instead, they bring the first baseman into pitch, so we don't know who the first baseman is. Swing and a miss. But the only thing we can assume is that the designated hitter who was hitting for Williams, the pitcher, is now hitting for the first baseman. Because the first baseman has to replace Williams, the pitcher. On the corner for a strike, 0-2. Webster's a big boy on the mound. He takes that big step, and a little bit different now with the left-hander. Webster taking a lot of time, too much time. Fisher asks for time and gets it. Down and in. Nice stop by Driscoll. That could have moved the tying run over to third. The 1-2 pitch up and coming. Chops it foul. Almost like a last second swing. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Way wide for a ball. Evens the count at 2. Swing and a miss, he gets him. Two-way. And we got a pinch hitter. Looks like Kyle Rush. Kyle Rush, 9th grader. He's a good three-point shooter in basketball. He had the distinction of making a big three-point shot this year to get St. Mary's into the 100 points at St. Mary's in the game. In for a strike. Marks had reached in a fielder's choice and scored, walked and scored, popped up to the pitcher his last time. It might have been just going righty-lefty. Fouled off. So St. Mary's been threatening. They had the tying run in the 4th. They had the tying run in the 5th in scoring position. They had a run in with 2 on and 1 out in the 3rd. They just haven't been able to come up with the big hit they need. Curveball on the outside corner. So Webster comes on and does the job.
5-4, St. John's.
He comes on after the leadoff walk. The sacrifice for the out. He strikes out the next 2 hitters. And the Prep 3 outs away from their 10th win and getting a win here at Fraser Field. They lead it over St. Mary's 5-4 at the end of 6.
On the top of the 7th, the shortstop, Cam LaGrassa.
9-1-2 for the Prep as we start the 7th inning. Cam LaGrasso reached in the fielder's choice and scored and singled. He also made a great play in the 1st inning. Oh, excuse the 2nd inning. Waves at the pitch. And that was or it wasn't in the 1st inning when St. Mary's scored the 3. They could have got 1 or 2 more. Bridges starting his 7th inning of work. He's pitched well enough to win. Chop slowly to 3rd. Velasquez going to have to hurry. It's thrown away. He was safe anyway. It's going to be a base hit. He doesn't go to 2nd. He tapped it, and he was able to beat it for a base hit. Velasquez had to take time to throw it, threw it away, but the runner didn't move along. Tucker Larson has grounded out, reached in the fielder's choice and scored, walked. He's 0 for 2, but he scored a run. He was one of the 2 runs that scored on the error outfield that made it 5-3 at the time, and those are the runs that are the difference in the game. They pop it up, safe at first. The runner will go all the way to third. He threw the ball in the dirt. Freya couldn't pick it. And they're coming out to check, I think, to see if he's okay. Freya went down. He's walking up. He's up. So the prep threatening the error allows Larson to reach. Hustling all the way to third was LaGrasso. He bunted it, popped up, looked like it might be caught. It bounced. Velasquez threw the ball in the dirt at first base. So the Prep have first and third with nobody out. Looking to add to a one-run lead.
The center fielder, Tucker Lawson.
Aiden Driscoll, the catcher, has grounded out singles and bounced into that double play that they had controversial. In for a strike. They throw it over. They almost had the throw was a little. If that throw was on the money, he's out. They threw it high. Ferrer had to go high and get it, and by the time he got back, Larson was able to get back. They had him dead to rights if they threw it. If that throw was belt high, he's out at first base. The wiki flashing signs as to what's going to happen if the runner goes. The runner does go. They throw it down. He's out at second base. The runner at third didn't go. Perfect throw by Nowicki. Nice tag by Cabral. So one away. Perfect. The runner at third stayed right on the bag. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Driscoll gets his second hit and an RBI. And that's going to make that hole to dig out of a little deeper in the seventh inning as they fall behind by 2.
Baseman Kyle Webster. Pitcher Kyle Webster.
Kyle Webster, who's now the pitcher, is the hitter. And we'll have somebody run at first base, and we have no idea who it is because we mentioned before, everybody wearing number 3. So that's a big run for the Prep here in the top of the 7th. First time they scored since the second inning. Into right field for a base hit. They throw to third, the runner goes to second. Driscoll can fly. He took around the bases very quickly, got to third. Webster on the throw to third goes to second. So it's second and third with one out. Solid shot into right field by Webster, his first hit. He had lined out and flied out twice. Salistro, The designated hitter singled and scored, fly to center, fly to right. St. Mary's brings their infield in. In for a strike. Just missed. 1-1. Line shot to center field. It's in for a base hit. They had to wait to see if it would be caught. Solistro gets his second hit. Driscoll's the pinch runner for Driscoll scores, and we're going to get a new pitcher for St. Mary's. St. Mary's will bring in their lefty, Josh Doney. He'll face the lefty hitter, Shane Williams, the right fielder, who was singled, struck out, and bounced to first.
The right fielder, Shane Williams.
He singled in the second when they got their 5 runs. He scored one of the 5. So it's a prep. We're quiet for a while. Bridget had retired 7 in a row coming into this inning. In for a strike. 4 hits in the inning. Throw in an error. They got 2 runs. The only out was a throw out at second base, trying to steal. Little off-speed curveball drops in. Good fastball that time on the corner.
The second baseman, Peyton Palladino.
2 away. Peyton Palladino, the second baseman. Doubled in a run and scored in the second. Grounded to third, grounded to short. Wide for a ball. Good pitch. Break him off. I mentioned again, Josh Stoney. I did his games when he helped Lynn win the Gallant tournament over in Salem. Now he's an old freshman. Getting back, standing up is Solitro. Pitching up and away. 2-1 the count. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Yeah, we got our first deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. And the prep will score 2 runs in the inning. So we got deuces all over the scoreboard. He was already going back to the base when Doney threw it over. Looking to the bottom of the 7th, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for St. Mary's. Hit foul off to the left side. The runner takes off, and a perfect hit and run. So he went to cover the bag on the stolen base, and he punched it in the right field for a base hit. Couldn't do it any more perfect than that. The runner just took off going to second. Fisher went to cover the bag for the possible throw, and Palladino got his second hit, his second RBI. He just slapped it into right field. Absolutely perfect.
Third baseman, Caleb Bertram.
Bertram will be the 8th hitter in the inning. On the corner for a strike. Bertram singled in a run, singled, fly to right. So he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. In for a strike again, 0-2. So getting 3 here, Prep has doubled up on St. Mary's. It was a narrow 5-4. St. Mary's is walking off the field. Derek Dana came out of the dugout. Ryan Frere was on his way to the dugout.
Wow.
Nowicki and the pitcher didn't move. They didn't go anywhere. Ryan Frere was running, going to the dugout, thinking that was strike 3.
Wow.
The runner takes off. Jammed him way inside, backing away, got a piece of it and fouled it back. The runner was halfway to second base when the ball got to the plate. High for a ball. And we got Deuces Wild again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 on again. Hit foul again, knocked down by the third base coach. I felt that when he got it off his hand. We'll do it again at 2-2. They got him picked off. They dropped the ball. They had, the runner was going. They threw the ball to first base. The runner from third took off. He was dead to rights. He tried to get back to third. They threw it, and they dropped the ball. So it's second and third now. And we'll do it again at 2-2, and the base umpire's coming in. The base umpire coming in, reprimanding the Prep dugout. I don't know if they were. The umpire's been on it now. You can't harass the other team. You have to be rooting for your team and not harassing the other team. Hit. Can't make the play. It's a base hit and a run scores. So that tough play cost him another run. And it's still first and third. 4 runs in. 2 outs, first and third. Hit foul. Freer made the play, but just kicked out as he got the first base bag. Prep was batted around. Harrington, the left fielder's choice, getting an RBI, struck out twice. Little off-speed curveball drops in. It's a nice pitch by Doney. As I mentioned, Harrington, the 9th hitter in the inning. They had the out at third. They had a play at first base earlier. Reaches for that one. Freer with the nice play. On his knees, reaches and touches the base for the third out. They bat around for the second time. They scored 5 in the second batting around. They get 4 here in the 7th batting around. So we finished 6.5. St. Mary's now their last 3 outs. It was 5-4. It's now 8-4, and Webster has a chance for a save, and the Prep well on their way to the 10th win. 8-4, the Prep over St. Mary's with a half inning left. I shortchanged the Prep. I was right, they got 4, but they had 5 coming in. They scored all their runs in 2 innings, 5 in the second, 4 in the 7th. And it's 9-4. So St. Mary's just got off the slide with a big win over Masco on Saturday night after they lost back-to-back games in the Catholic Central League Cup tournament. They were looking to make it 2 in a row. They were within a run, but 6 hits, an error, and that not making the play, allowing the runner to get back to third base and keep the inning alive, helped the Prep get 4 and kind of put this one away. Way wide for a ball. Webster came on after Williams walked the first batter in the 6th. Freer sacrificed the runner the second, and then Webster struck out the next 2 hitters. On the inside corner for a strike, evens the count at 2. Cabral has walked and scored, popped to first, called out on strikes. Way wide for a ball. Count goes full. Webster taking a long time. Put the clock on.
All night long.
That's ball 4. He draws his second walk. That's the 5th walk given up by Prep pitching. 2 of the walks have scored. Velasquez singled twice and struck out. He also scored a run, one of the 3 in the first inning. Some of the crowd has left. A lot of the crowd has stayed. Way up and away. Webster trying to nail it down for Williams, who went the first 5 because he didn't get an out in the 6th. On the corner for a strike. 1-2. Wide for a ball. Even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hit in the right field for a base hit. Cabral on his way to third will get there. So Falaska gets his 3rd hit. Cabral motors around to third, 1st and 3rd. Nobody out for John Nowicki.
Catcher number 24, John Nowicki.
Nowicki has to get on to get the tying run up the home plate. Solid shot into left field for a base hit.
When you get there, what are you waiting for, kid?
So the tying run comes to the whole plate, and it brings a trip out to the mound. And we're going to also have Domeno running at first base for Nowicki, who's on base for the 3rd time. He reached on an error, singled in a run. Now he's got another base hit. And that brings the tying run to home plate. We got a long session. They didn't really warm up anybody. They were going out to warm up. They didn't get a chance to do it. So I'm sure they're going to stay with Webster at least for one more hitter. Tad Giordino, excuse me. They got a base hit. Popped to first base, got hit by a pitch.
Number 3, Tad Giordino.
He's 1 for 2. In for a strike. He gets hit by the pitch. Don't look now. The winning run is at home plate. So it looked like a walkover by the prep. All of a sudden, a run in, bases loaded, nobody out. And Diaz will pinch hit. And we're going to get a new pitcher. And again, I'm sorry. We can't tell you who it is because everybody's wearing number 3. But we'll have a new pitcher coming in. So Gabe Diaz was going to hit against Webster, the lefty. Prep switched to a righty. And Doney, the pitcher, the DH is McGonigal, who hits lefty. But Doney's going to hit for himself, so they lose the DH. Doney, the pitcher, will hit.
Pitcher number 14, Josh Doney.
So the bases are loaded. Tying run at first base, winning run at home plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Who would have thunk that? Excuse me, the tying run at home plate. In for a strike. And again, I apologize. We have no way of knowing who the pitcher is because they're all wearing number 3. They gave us a roster with numbers. but they're not wearing those numbers. But he comes way downside. I'm almost knee-high, the pitch coming from. Pitching from the stretch, now he steps off. So a walk, 2 hits, and a hit batsman. A run in, the bases loaded. In for a strike, 0-2. Fishing inside. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Jason Donahue was popped up, singled, and walked. He's 1 for 2. On the corner for a strike. Very late swing. Hit that down the first base side. That ball was almost by him when he swung at that pitch. A very inside-out swing. Again, pitch is taking a lot of time. Fouls it again up in the seats. Now they called interference on the catcher.
First baseman number 7, Ryan Freyer.
Now the winning run is at home plate. Nine to 6, and Daniel Latat came out to talk to the plate ump. He's going to talk to the base umpire. I don't know how the base umpire could have anything different. I don't know how the base umpire could have any call on that play. Ryan Freer, the hitter. The bases are still loaded with 1 out. Wide for a ball. 9 to 6. If Freer could hit it out of the park, the game is over. Missing wide, 2-0. You got to think he's going to take at least 1 strike here with the count 2-0. And there it is for a strike, 2-1. On the corner, 2-2. Now he can't be fussy at all. He's got to guard the plate. Chopped foul at home plate. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Driscoll taking a walk out and talking with his pitcher. I don't know if that got a piece of the catcher. Trying to walk it off. A walk, 2 hits, a hit batsman. A strikeout for the first out, and then interference on the catcher. Brings in the second run.
Come on, Ryan.
Yeah, we got timeout. Hits it in the right field. Inside, it's a fair ball. Down, they're waving the runner home. He's going to score. Freya gets a triple. Donahue hustles all the way around from first. We got a tie game. We got a tie game. And St. Mary's has the winning run at third base with 1 out. Solid shot to right field. Went down in the bullpen. It stayed in play. I think the Prep wanted a ground rule double, but it stayed in play. And all of a sudden, it's 9-9. Who would have thunk this? Fisher has walked twice, grounded out, and struck out, and the Prep has to bring the infield in. Unbelievable. In for a strike. What are the odds you could have got at this in Vegas? Slices it foul off to the right side. Fisher could win it here. Freya comes up huge. High for a ball. Frazier found a spot just inside the right field line. They were off the line for a right-hander hitter. Went all the way down in the bullpen area, way down in the right field corner. Donahue hustled all the way around. We got a walk, a hit batsman, interference on the catcher. All of a sudden, it's 9-9. Hits it foul. The count stays 1-2. Fisher looking to put the ball in play and give St. Mary's an unbelievable win. I said a long time ago that this would be a huge win for St. Mary's against Division I St. John's Prep. And then they fell behind 5-3. Then they fell behind 9-4. All of a sudden, they wanted that one, but it broke late, and the count goes 2-2. Fisher kind of held his breath taking that pitch inside. So all the fans that left early missed out. Popped up to the infield. Second baseman Palladino makes the play. So he left it up.
The right fielder, number 5, Jack Marks.
Jack Marks, they hit for him before. He went back in and played right field. He reached his first 2 times, a fielder's choice and a walk, and scored twice. He popped to the pitcher. He's back in the game in right field. The winning run at third base. The Prep has batted around twice in this game. Both innings they scored their runs, the only innings they scored their runs. And now St. Mary's is duplicating that. They've batted around. Getting 5. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Wide for a ball. So he left it all up to Jack Marks. Prep is hoping for extra innings to get a shot. St. Mary's looking to win it with the runner at third base. Swing and a miss. And we got Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's a winning run at third base here in the bottom of the 7th. High for a ball, and here we go. Full count. Huge pitch coming up. St. Mary's is very quiet coming to this inning. Their fans are alive. Swing and a miss. We're going with this extra innings. Who would have thunk this? If you're St. Mary's, you say, you look now and you say, oh no, we're going extra innings. If you're St. Mary's, we're saying, thank God we're going in extra innings. They were down 9-4 coming into the start of this inning. They put a big 5 spots on the board, and we can't decide it in regulation. At the end of 7, excuse me, it's tied at 9. Doney breaks down the way outside. 9-1-2 for the Prep. As we start inning number 8. Hit the other way. Long run for Donahue. Couldn't quite get there. Foul ball.
Shortstop, Cam LaGrasso.
Cam LaGrasso reached in the fielder's choice, scored, singled his last 2 times, and scored. So he scored 2. He's 2 for 3. Now the Prep has got to see if they can score a run to try and win this after leading. Swing and a miss on the off-speed curveball. They had that big 7th inning. Scoring 4 to take a 9-4 lead. St. Mary's comes back and gets 5 and ties it up, and they left the winning run at third base. Off-speed curveball again. Nowicki has to throw him out at first. Very nice pitch by Doney.
Center fielder, Tucker Larson.
Tucker Larson is grounded out, reached in a fielder's choice and scored. Walked, reached on an error. He's been on 3 times and scored a run. Drop foul. Just beyond St. Mary's dugout. Slices it off to the right side. Down in the grassy knoll. Right behind first base. 0-2 quickly. DeWicki sets up way outside. He threw it out there. Larson's not going to swing at that. It's got to be a little closer to the plate. Up and away. He was accounted two. Who would have thought we would have been extra innings with a Prep leading 9-4? Hit to center field. Giardina coming on, makes the play. Two up, two down. Aiden Driscoll bounced to second, singled, hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Singled, knocking a run, scored a run. So he's 2 for 4 with a run scored and a run knocked in. Run scored, the RBI come in that big 4-run seventh. That curveball hangs way up and in. Waves at that pitch. Bouncing down and away. 2-1. Up and away for a ball. Drop to first. Safe at first. Ryan Freer should have left the second baseman make the play. Great hustle. He caught it, and he tried to make a dive to get to the bag. And Driscoll beat him. Driscoll's got his third hit. And with 2 outs, Prep has the go-ahead run. And whoever will run for Driscoll at first base, because, again, we don't have any idea who the subs are because we don't even know who the pitcher is for the Prep because everybody's wearing number 3.
Now batting Kyle Webster.
Kyle Webster has lined to short, flied to center, flied to left, singled and scored. Waves at that off-speed curveball. They bounce it to first base. Freer has taken a lot of the turf back home with him. He's been laying out all over the turf down at first base. He made that head-first dive trying to get to the bag ahead of the runner. Down and away for a ball. Down and away for a ball. We got to get out of here. It's a school night. They got to get up in the morning.
St. Mary's already out.
Long pause by Doney. Popped up. Cabral almost on the second base bag makes the play. So who would have thought
As we move into the bottom of the eighth, we are tied at 9.
9-4 going into the bottom of the seventh inning? Who would have thought Doney in relief could get the win? But St. Mary's has a chance to win it in the bottom of the eighth with the score tied at 9. 3-4-5 for St. Mary's as they try to win it here in the eighth.
Bottom of the eighth, the shortstop, number 15, Avon Cabral.
Evan Cabral has walked and scored, popped to first, struck out, walked and scored. He led off the seventh inning, starting that 5-run uprising. In for a strike. Hit the shot. One up, one down. Tommy Palacios got 3 base hits. He scored 2 runs. The one time he didn't get a hit, he struck out. So he's 3 for 4, scoring twice. Missing inside for a ball. Chop to second. They got to hurry. They'll get Velasco. 2-way in the eighth. John Nowicki had a nice night at the plate.
Catcher number 24, John Nowicki.
Reached on an error, singled in a run, grounded out, singled and scored. So he's been on base 3 times. Knocked in a run, scored a run. He's 2 for 4. Chop to his first, bounces foul. Lions in the right field for a base hit. His 3rd hit, on base for the 4th time.
The center fielder number 3, Tad Giardina.
Yeah, Gina's been on base 3 times. He got a base hit. He got hit twice. He also popped up to the first baseman. Yeah, we got a runner from the wiki at first base. Giardina, the center fielder for the Spartans. Wide for a ball. Down the way again, 2-0. Just looked like it was going to be a line drive in a right center field. It just kind of died. Half pop, half line drive to the second baseman. Fans got a little excited when it looked like it might be a hit. But St. Mary's is down in the 8th. Still can't decide. 9-9 as we go into the 9th. 4, 5, and 6 for the Prep as we start the 9th inning. We haven't done this year. Curveball down and away for a ball. Nick Salitro, the designated hitter, single, fly to center, fly to right, singled in a run and scored. He's 2 for 4. He scored twice and knocked in a run. Curveball hangs inside, 2-1. Missing wide for a ball. 3-1 the count. Leadoff walk puts the go-ahead run at first base. Shane Williams is singled and scored, struck out, grounded to first, struck out. I think we're going to have a runner at first base.
Who's this hitting? Who's on? Salitro? Williams. Call back to the right fielder, Shane Williams.
Who's given the change to the plate umpire. We'll have a runner, and again, we can't possibly tell who it is. They gave us a roster with all kinds of jersey numbers, but everybody's wearing number 3 for Pete Frates. Fishing wide for a ball. Hits it back. Velasco was way in at third base, and Williams swung away. Nice stop by Nowicki on a pitch in the turf. In for a strike. Evens the count at 2. Umpires don't get any extra money for this. Strike 3 call. Good pitch. They get him for the 3rd time. Second time called. Payne Palladino doubled in a run and scored. Grounded to third, grounded to short, and then singled in a run. So he's 2 for 4 with 2 RBI and a run scored. On the corner for a strike. They had him picked off, and again they dropped the ball. They guessed right. They threw it over to first. He was going. They had him picked at second. They threw the ball low. Couldn't handle it, and the runner gets back to first base. And it's very important because that's the go-ahead run at first base that they would have picked off. Hit in a right field for a base hit. So instead of 2 outs and a runner at first, it's runner at first and second with 1 out. Caleb Burcham singled in a run, singled, fly to right, singled.
Third baseman, Caleb Burcham.
He's got 3 hits in 4 trips, and he knocked in a run. They get 1. The throw drew the Freer off the bag.
Left fielder, Victor Harrington.
So they almost got their second double play. Fred did a good job getting off the bag and picking that throw. So now the go-ahead runner's at third. Victor Harrington had a fielder's choice getting an RBI. Struck out, called, struck out swinging, grounded to first. Getting back easy. Plate umpire talking to the bench. Somebody on the bench yelled balk, and the umpire just said, knock it off. And Ricky wants to talk to his pitcher. I don't know about road games, but I think home games, I think this is the longest streak for Doney out in the mound. And Derek Dana's going to take a timeout to go out to talk to his pitcher as well. Young 9th grader is hanging in there, doing a nice job. Prep has the go-ahead run at third here in the 9th inning. Prep had a big 4-run 7th inning to take a 9-4 lead. And then St. Mary's came back and got 5 in the bottom inning. And it was kind of bizarre. They got 9. They had a hit batsman. They had a walk. They had an interference call. And the big triple by Freya inside the right field line down into the bullpen area cleared the bases to tie the game. And they had the winning run at third with 1 out. A pop-up and a strikeout got the Prep into extra innings. I don't know what time the lights go out here at Frazier Field. First and third, 2 outs in the 9th. Tie game, 9-9. Both teams getting 3 field goals. Good off-speed curveball. That's a nice pitch by Doney. Wide for a ball. Up and away for a ball. foul. And we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. In inning number 9. Is it still Monday? Hit up the middle, it's a base hit. Just a little slap, just to the right of second base. Harrington gets his second RBI, and the Prep grab a lead.
Shortstop, Cam Lagrassa.
Just a little tap, found the space. Lagrassa has reached in the fielder's choice and scored, singled and scored, struck out. Back to the pitcher, Doney makes the play. So here we go again into the bottom of the inning. We did this in the 7th, and St. Mary's came back and tied it. They needed 5, and they got 5. They're going into the bottom of the 9th. They only need 1 to tie here, but it's 10-9. The Prep going into the bottom of the 9th. So here we go. Bottom 3 in the order for St. Mary's.
Leading off for St. Mary's, the pitcher, Josh Doney.
Who would have thought this would be a heartbreaking loss for the Spartans when they were trailing 9-4 going into the bottom of the 7th inning? But they're 10-9 now in the bottom of the 9th. Josh Donley's been up once. He was called out on strikes. Chops it towards first base. Pitcher will make the play himself. His momentum carried him right to the bag. So 1 up, 1 down. Jason Doney, who popped up, singled, walked. He was the one that was up at bat. They called interference on the catcher. And he wound up scoring on Freer's triple. So he's been on base 3 times, scoring a run. He scored the tying run in the bottom of the 7th.
Left fielder, Jason Donahue.
Fishing for a ball. In for a strike. Set, then the pitcher stepped off. Donahue stepped out, everybody back in. In for a strike. Hit foul. Still a lot of fans here hanging in. Curved ball on the inside corner for strike 3. St. Mary's down to their last out.
First baseman, number 7, Ryan Freya.
Right Fair, we thought he was going to be the hero of the game. Down 3, bases loaded, 1 out. He tripled inside the right field line. Tied the game up. He was at third base with 1 out, and St. Mary's couldn't bring him in. High and tight for a ball. They couldn't bring him home. In for a strike. He grounded out. Next 2 times he sacrificed moving runners over, but they couldn't score. And then he tripled for 3 RBI, so he's 1 for 2 with 3 RBI. And he gets hit by the pitch. So St. Mary's has a pulse. It's weak, but they have a pulse. The tying run at first with 2 outs for Zach Fisher.
Number 2, Zach Fisher.
Fisher walked, grounded out, walked, struck out, popped up. He's 0 for 3, but he's been on base twice. Hit foul. In for a strike. St. Mary's out there, last strike. Oh, 2 the count. Just got a piece and stays alive. We'll do it again at 0-2. Chop down the first base line, it pops foul. Prep that close to making the 3rd out. Zach Fisher will get another opportunity. Put the count 0-2. Bottom of the 9th, 10-9, the Prep. Wide for a ball. Hit the shot. Big hop. Shortstop takes the play himself.
Final score, St. John's 10, St. Mary's 9.
So the Prep
Thank you, and please drive
hangs on. They took them extra innings after St. Mary's come back from a 9-4 deficit. Prep gets a touchdown, an extra point, and a field goal. St. Mary's gets 3 field goals. And the Prep holds on. 9 innings it took for Prep to get their 10th win. They win at 10-9 over St. Mary's. St. Mary's will drop to 10-9. The Prep will go to 10-7. The big guy for the Prep was Nick Solitro. He had 2 hits, a walk. He scored 3 times and knocked in a run. Also, LaGrasso was on base 3 times, scored a couple. Palladino had a couple of RBI. Everybody got involved for the Prep. For St. Mary's, Fisher was on base twice with walks. Marks was on base twice with a fielder's choice of walk, scored twice. Cabral drew 2 walks, scored twice. Falaska had 3 base hits, scored twice. Nowicki reached on an error, had 3 base hits, knocked in a run, scored a run. Tagliardina had a base hit, got hit by a pitch again, was on base 3 times, scored a run. Cam McGonigal had a sacrifice fly. Jason Donahue had a single, walked, reached on the interference call on the catcher and scored a run. And Ryan Freya had 2 sacrifices. He got the big triple, clearing the bases, tying the game up, making it 9-9, knocking in 3 runs. He was at third, the winning run. They couldn't get him in. And in the 9th inning, St. Mary's, a walk. They had the runner picked off at first base. They dropped the throw. The runner was able to get back to first, and he wound up scoring the run that won the game 10-9. So tough night defensively for St. Mary's, and they had golden opportunities. They made a great comeback, getting 5 in the 7th, but they had a couple of other opportunities where they had runners in scoring position with only 1 out, couldn't get the runs in, and then they had the runner at third with 1 out, the winning run, couldn't get him in, and the Prep gets that run when they couldn't make a defensive play in the 9th inning, and the runner is safe on a drop throw, gets back to first. He winds up scoring the winning run. And Doney did a nice job on the mound, deserved a better fate, but St. Mary's will drop a tough win, 10-9 in 9 innings. St. Mary's goes to 10-9. The Prep goes to 10-7. 10-9 in 9 innings. The Prep over St. Mary's. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.